Welcome back to the World of Light. Today we're going to get a few more spirits, the first one being Rock Mario from Super Mario Galaxy 2 for the Wii. So the Mario Galaxy games had a myriad of unique power-ups that haven't really appeared anywhere else in the Mario series. One such power-up from the second game is Rock Mario, which you can get by collecting yourself a rock shroom, a rocky mushroom, and it turns you into a boulder, so you can roll around and crush anything in your path. That said, this spirit battle is kind of interesting because... oh, hello. Instead of having a Mario playing Rock Mario, we instead have a metal Jigglypuff. I guess the metal is to simulate the hardness of the rock. And the Jigglypuff is there because it has the move Rollout, where it is a rock-type move that turns it into a boulder. Well, when it isn't being grabbed and thrown around by me. So, yeah, quite an interesting idea for a spirit battle, to have a straight-up Smash Bros. Character within the actual spirit itself, but it isn't being played by that character. Not something you see all the time. Anyway, let's slam dunk this Puff. Let's give him a big punch in the face. God damn, the only downside to this battle is the fact that he is made of metal, so he's going to be hard to kill, no matter what. And even landing the slam dunks is going to be hard, because Jigglypuff has multiple jumps, so... oh, jeez. This fight's gone on for so long that we had to endure the worst final smash in the game. Jigglypuff's final smash does nothing. All it does is knockback, but it only hits a very specific area of the stage, so it's very easy to dodge. Honestly, like the worst ability. Anyway, there goes Rock Mario. Lovely stuff. Boosts your physical attack because, of course, makes sense. Rolling boulder. And Treasure Chest, containing 3,000 spirit points. Basically currency in this campaign. So, anyway, next up we have Team Chaotix. The Chaotix crew are a bunch of adventurers who originally appeared in the 32X game Knuckles Chaotix, a spin-off of the Sonic games where Knuckles the Echidna teamed up with a bunch of randos, and you'd actually have to play with two characters at once. They'd be tied together, and you had to utilise both of their abilities to make it through a bunch of sprawling, open levels. The Chaotix are, however, better known for reappearing in the game Sonic Heroes for the PS2 and GameCube, and then becoming Sonic the Hedgehog mainstay characters. One of its most prolific members, Espio, is a chameleon, hence why he was turning invisible there. And there they are, Espio, Vector, and Charmy the Bee. Team Chaotix. And new area. Same as before, I'm going to try my best to just focus on one area at a time instead of just blitzing right into the fog. So let's clear out as many of these spirits as I can. First of all, we have the Great Fairy. So the Great Fairy appears in multiple Zelda games, being a very powerful fairy. And instead of normal fairies, which you collect them in bottles and have them revive you if you're downed, the Great Fairy is often found at fountains, fairy fountains, hence the Fountain of Dreams that we're battling on. And they either give you magic upgrades, or abilities, or life upgrades. They're basically there to buff Link permanently, so it's always worth finding Great Fairies if you can. Some of my favourites are actually in the Breath of the Wild, because those ones, not only do they seem to be looting Link, but they actually give you armour upgrades, and they can turn you into a goddamn beast if you visit enough of them. Anyway, this particular battle is really tricky because when you get Zelda to so much damage, she automatically heals herself. Also, she has the most irritatingly powerful final smash in the game, which is almost definitely going to be activated because of how long the battle will last. So, this time round, I just kind of did that whole battle again without getting hits. I just didn't let her hit me as much, so a horrible Triforce attack didn't finish me off. But my Ultra Sword definitely did. And that is the Great Fairy. The upside of dealing with that fairly tricky battle is you actually get that ability for yourself. So when I take enough damage, I can now heal myself. That is pretty rad. There is some music for Yoshi's Woolly World. And next up we have Coraline. So Coraline appears in the Street Pass game, Ultimate Angler. She works at a fishing shop, a fishing store, I guess. And she teams up with the player in order to catch legendary sea monsters. And that is why we are currently battling an Isabelle, spamming her fishing rod, one of her more annoying moves. We have the me there, who is representing the fisher player character. And of course we're playing on a boat, because, you know, that's our boat, that's our fishing boat. Anyway, goddamn, water is really annoying in this game. Just need to finish off this me now. This me gunner. Quite clever that they've given the me gunner the Splatoon outfit, so it's shooting what is basically a water pistol. That's a very nice touch. That gives us the boomerang. Lovely. And next up we have another character. We have Nina from Fire Emblem, the original Shadow Dragon, as well as Mystery of the Emblem. She is the Princess of Arcania, and she is the ex-lover of a knight named Camus. Hence why Camus himself appears in this battle as a Ganondorf. So, yeah. There's two ways you can go about this battle. You can try and deal with Camus, even though he is quite tricky. So, you know, I could be doing this, what I'm doing right now, dealing with those heavy blows that comes with dealing with a soldier. Alternatively, you can just go beat up Nina herself, like this. There's another way of winning. A far more efficient way of winning. Sorry, Camus. Anyway, she helps reduce poison damage, which, you know, she's a cleric class, so that makes sense. And we have Fox McCloud, the leader of Star Fox. Infamous character from Super Smash Bros. Melee, even though he has been in all the Smash Bros. Games. Because in Melee, he was just ridiculously OP. He was super fast, he had like no lag to any of his attacks. He had one frame moves. So, yeah, if you've ever wanted to see an intense Smash Bros. Battle, watch Fox vs. Fox in Super Smash Bros. Melee. It honestly is, like, blinding to watch. It's impossible to believe that human beings are controlling him. Anyway, that was relatively easy. Not too hard of a win. And that gives us our Star Fox pilots. Most of his moves are actually based on his abilities in the Star Fox games. So, the abilities of fighter jets and tanks. Awesome. Also another button. Just one more of those and we can access a new area. Ooh. Wow, game, you are treating me. You are treating me to so many paths, I don't honestly know where the hell I'm going right now. I am going to take on Panther before I go back and deal with those spirits. Panther is a pilot from the Star Fox games. He actually appears on Team Star Wolf, replacing both Pigmadengar and Andrew Oikoni. Once they, you know, are kicked off the team. Panther is a little bit of a Lothario-esque character. He's very, very flirty, and he ends up gaining a crush on Crystal from Star Fox. So, yeah. On top of that, he's just an annoying bastard to fight, because he's so goddamn good at piloting. So, yeah. He first appeared in Star Fox Assault, but he has a somewhat greater role in Star Fox Command for the DS. Anyway, he's being played by Wolf right now, because he's part of Wolf's team. But that is all well and good, because I could do this. Nope. No, I can't, apparently. God, I need to really work on my slam dunk game. Especially for online battles. Like, that's the thrust of most online battles, is dunking your opponent before they dunk you. Come on, and... So long, Gay Panther. And that is Panther. I love his design as well, just very minimalist. He just looks like a straight-up panther. Anyway, moving on. We have Marin from The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. The original, not the remake. What with her artwork here. So, Marin appears in Koholint Island, which is an island created in Link's dreams. And she is both the woman who helped save him from his shipwreck, as well as the person who joins him in his quest to end up waking up. So yeah. Basically, I say waking up, it's more that Link's in a coma and needs to get out of it, so yeah. Anyway, Marin also appears briefly in that game as an ally. She joins you for your adventuring, and you can get into all kinds of fun shenanigans together. And that is why she is fighting with Link on this level. And that said, I've actually put on Brewster, the owl, so that is to say I've had a coffee. And for that reason, I'm not falling asleep on this sleepy platform. Gotta love support spirits. So when you get enough of them, you can deal with pretty much any situation. In fact, some battles are specifically designed to force you to put on a support spirit, because they're unwinnable otherwise. Anyway, there goes Zeldo. I mean Marin. There goes Marin. And she gives us irreversible controls. That would have been helpful. We probably should have come here before we fought Ashley. Anyway, next up is Slowpoke, a water and psychic type from Generation 1. Slowpoke is arguably a joke Pokemon. It is just a little hippo that is incredibly slow in every regard. It's slow to move, slow to fight, slow to feel pain, which I guess is a good thing. And it eventually evolves into the Pokemon Slowbro when a Shelder bites onto its tail. Alternatively, it evolves into Slowking if a Shelder bites onto its head. Although in-game, you don't actually need a Shelder to bite it. You just level it up or trade it with King's Rock. Anyway, this fight is pretty one-of-a-kind as far as fights go. Because... yeah, that's how fast I can move right now. We're forced to move incredibly slowly in this battle. So yeah, we're going to be here a while apparently. Unless I perfectly time my blocks and get in some good hits. Maybe try and kick you down that waterfall? Maybe? God, I can't even get close enough to... God! Oh, the slow movement is so... debilitating. The only thing that will, like, override this slow movement is if you use an ability that actually sends you forward, so... Kirby probably wasn't the best for that. Anyway, there's Slowpoke, and Slowpoke gives us a very unique dojo. Slowpoke gives you the Forgetful style, so if you've erroneously learned the wrong ability from a dojo, you can use Slowpoke to erase it. And that way you can set your spirit back to normal. And on top of that, it's also instantaneous. You don't have to wait 6 to 8 hours for it, so... lovely. That's basically more gameplay functionality I've just earned there. Anyway, next up, let's not go down there yet. Let's go back this way and deal with these. We have Espresso from Donkey Kong Country. This is one of the animal buddies you get in that game. But unlike Rambi the Rhino, who can just barrel through enemies, Espresso cannot really attack. Instead, you get fast movement and the ability to glide, which, in a platformer as unforgiving as Donkey Kong, can be both a blessing and a curse. Like, you can barrel straight into an enemy and get absolutely boned, but also you can fly over those horrible, hard-to-make jumps, so... it's a toss-up. Anyway... being played here by Black Falco, and we're fighting on Green Hill Zone, which is synonymous with a very fast character. Very clever. The stage is also slippery, but that's not a big issue when I drop kick you in the face, so yeah. And that means we start a battle taking damage, but we get to move faster. So, you know, we're weaker, but we're faster. Next up we have Shy Guys. Shy Guys first appeared in Super Mario Bros. 2, which is entirely set within Mario's dream, once again. There's a lot of dream-related spirits around this area. But they actually then transcended that game and started appearing in mainstream Mario games, be they the Mario Sport games or the Paper Mario games. I think they might even appear in some of the main platformers. Yeah, I think they full-on transcended into the main series. So, yeah, they're basically little masked fellows. And there's not really much to them. They're quite generic as far as enemies go. And they fight in a whole bunch of different ways, depending on which game you encounter them in. I think these Shy Guys, what with their constant items and projectiles, maybe they're based on the Paper Mario ones, which had, like, artillery. So, yeah. I'm going to assume that's what these Shy Guys are meant to be. And good thing that I killed him there with that power block, because that bomb would have blown me to fuck. That bomb that was stuck to my face. Alright, so, next up we have the Bokoblin from The Legend of Zelda. That one in particular being straight from Breath of the Wild. These are Ganon's horrible little minions. A bunch of gross goblinoid creatures. And they're being played here by a bunch of little King K rules, all of which have unique weapons, battering weapons, because in Breath of the Wild, Bokoblins wielded exactly that. They had a whole myriad of different weapons they could use, and all of them were weapons that, after defeating them, you could take for yourself. Breath of the Wild was very unique as far as Zelda games go, in that it had both weapon degradation, which arguably is a bad thing, but also the ability to wield anything, wield any weapon, which was a very good thing. So yeah. So you could go from shitty little clubs, you know, wielded by early game Bokoblins, to really powerful goddamn swords and boomerangs and all sorts of good stuff. Anyway, this is a relatively easy horde battle, just taking down a bunch of them. Using their own battering weapons against them is always a good call, and goddamn K-Rool can be annoying. Here is that... That's nowhere near a dunk. I thought he was going to go down. He didn't really go down there. There it is. Okay, there it is. You took a landmine to the face. It didn't even blow up. You just physically got killed by the impact of a landmine hitting your face. Nice. That is everything around this left side area. What about down here? We have Mario from Mario Tennis Aces. Mario Tennis Aces, like most of the Mario Tennis games, is brutally fucking hard and irritating, and that's also a good descriptor for this spirit battle. This one took me a couple of tries. Because basically, you've got Pong happening in the background, you have a pair of tennis players, both Mario and Peach, so assumingly this is a doubles tennis match, even though there's only one of me. And yeah, they're both really goddamn capable fighters, so yeah. It's the fact that Peach loves her smash attack so much, she's using her tennis racket smash attack, so... Ah, God! Annoying. Get slam dunked. Get out before this goddamn ping pong kills me. Nearly there, come on now. Rack up that damage, don't get battered with a ping pong ball. Alright, I think we're on the home stretch now, we're nearly there. Considering how hard this one Peach is, can you imagine how hard it would be if that Mario hadn't scrubbed it up and accidentally killed himself? Woof, yeah. This battle could be over in seconds if you're not prepared for it. But thankfully, my Metal Mario is just about ready to finish off this horrible tennis Peach. Not quite sure why she's wearing a white and red dress, because she does wear her normal pinks in the tennis games, but I'm not going to knock her fashion choices. This is fine. Slam dunk! There we go. Woof. That gives you the critical hit ability, which is actually pretty fantastic. Which gives you a chance of just doing a critical hit. Something that the Smash Bros. Games usually don't implement. Anyway, here is a chomp hat. An item piece, a costume piece for our Mii fighters. And here is Buzz. This is a joke spirit. Buzz is an alien bug who appears around the beginning of the game Earthbound, Mother 2, in order to warn our protagonists that Giygas, the alien god, is going to be invading. However, not long after you meet him, Buzz gets swatted by Porky's mum and insta-kills because he's a bug. That's what I just did. Yeah, that was that battle. Master Hand, why? I could just blow that up. He didn't even need to. That was pointless. I was just being a dick for the sake of being a dick. Where does this pipe take us? This takes us over to this random island that I can't even leave. Pointless. Cool, thanks. Let's not bother going in there then. That'll never be helpful. No, I don't want to go to the town just yet. I still have stuff to do over here. I have more spirits over in this dream area. So, there is Tingle. Don't want to face him just yet. Here is Anna. So, Anna is your main ally, or one of your main allies, in the game Mother, the first Mother game, which eventually made it over here as Earthbound Zero, or Earthbound Beginnings. Basically an NES RPG where you played as a little psychic kid named Ninten. And this particular fight is Ninten and Anna, both ganging up on you and both proving to be quite difficult. That was a lot of perfect parries Anna just performed there, as if it was no big thing. So, I'm going to try and be relatively careful on this one now. Maybe camp down here, because why not camp if you're given a camping zone? No shame, no regrets. Ugh! Just trying to pop those balloons so she'll fall and die. It won't happen. Come on! The fact that she's also gradually healing is a reference to the fact that Ninten has a lot of healing-based abilities. He is, weirdly for a protagonist, a white mage. So yeah. He's your support class, and he is implied to be slowly healing her. Anyway, that gives us the Franklin badge, which allows us to reflect projectiles. Lovely. And treasure chest. Oh, there we go. Treasure chest. The floral hat. Nice. That seems to be an area we can't access yet. So, next up is Nick. Nick is the alter ego of a former television personality named Captain Rainbow from the game of his own name. And in that game, in order to boost his reputation, since he is a washed-up TV superstar, he visits a place called Min Min Island, which is mostly populated by washed-up Nintendo characters who haven't appeared in ages. One of them being the samurai here from The Legend of Murasame Castle. In fact, a lot of the characters that Captain Rainbow encounters in that game, which is kind of like a life sim adventure game, they actually do appear in this as spirits. It could be argued that Captain Rainbow is almost like a comedy take on Super Smash Bros. I guess. Anyway, I never actually got around to playing the thing because I'm pretty sure it was a Japan exclusive. Shamefully. Anyway, let's take down Captain Rainbow once he stops being invincible. That'd be nice. And there we go. That is Nick, who, after being enhanced, will turn into the full-on Captain Rainbow. Nice. Alright, next up. Oh, hello. Something's happening. Oh. I think we're weakening Gleam. I think we've taken down enough spirits now to, Oh! Nope, tell a lie, we haven't weakened him. He's just opened up a new boss area for us. Cool, alright, I guess we're going to be heading there next then. Rightio then. So, next up we have Dreambirds. Again, a lot of dream-related spirits in this area. Dreambird is your little ally in the game Mario and Luigi Dream Team, an entry in the Mario and Luigi RPG series for the 3DS, in which you spend most of the game tromping through Luigi's literal dreams, which is being represented here by Magicant, a big, puffy, pink, cloudy dream world. I kind of love this whole dream area. I love all of these battles. Anyway, that was easy. Not really hard at all. That is Dreambird, one of your cute little allies from that game. And another broken bridge. God damn, broken bridges. Alright, not so dream-based, we have Joan. Joan appears in Animal Crossing as a turnip saleswoman. She sells you turnips. Now this is going to sound weird, but this is Animal Crossing's version of the stock markets. The price of turnips, or the prices of turnips, massively fluctuate, seemingly randomly. So, a lot of the time you'll be going up to Joan and asking her what the current exchange rate from bells to turnips are. And so the goal is to buy in bulk, like buy low and sell high. Animal Crossing's a very strange game. Life sim, but also capitalism simulator. So yeah. Anyway, there goes Joan herself, or there goes the villager, who assumingly would be buying all of these stock turnips. And last of all, we just have to take down the Peach, who is Joan, who is just throwing that money away. God damn, stop throwing away your stocks. The poor economy. They won't be able to take it. And that is Joan. That boosts your stats after eating, because turnips are a food. Food first, stock second, apparently. Anyway, ooh, another spirit for me to obtain. But first we have Eileen. Eileen is a little fairy who appears in the game Kirby and the Rainbow Curse? Or Rainbow Paintbrush? Again, it's one of those things that depends on whether you're European or American. So yeah, I don't get why certain games have to have their names rebranded for European audiences, but there you go. Anyway, this game was a sequel to Kirby and the Canvas Curse, or Power Paintbrush, same thing again. And in it, Kirby is turned into a ball, and you have to use your Wiimotes in order to draw paths for him. Hence why, you know, we had to fight with a bunch of balls there. Eileen's whole goal in that game was to bring colour back to Popstar after it had been drained of colour. And here is Yoshi, Mario's dinosaur friend, who originally appeared in the game Super Mario World, but later, in that game's sequel, kind of spun off into his own series, the Yoshi's Island series. Anyway, he is a cute little dinosaur who can do big jumps, float around and throw eggs, and eat enemies and turn them into eggs, or eat them and throw them. He's got quite a menagerie of cool abilities, but he's also one of the few Smash characters who doesn't really have a reliable recovery move. Instead, he just jumps really high. So, if you give Yoshi any spirit that boosts his jumping potential, he will just kind of fly indefinitely. He will just float around like nobody's business. And on that note, we'll be getting to that soon. Anyway, the level we're playing on is the Super Happy Tree, which appears in the game Yoshi's Story for the N64. And this Yoshi is giving me some trouble. Just need to land those hits now. As always. Gotta say as well, Yoshi's music, like the music in Yoshi games, mwah, beautiful. I love Yoshi music. It is the most calming, relaxing, and genuinely adorable music that you'll find in a video game. Alright, this is getting a little annoying now. It's quite interesting that Yoshi ended up getting a curry there, actually, because in earlier Smash Bros. Games, Yoshi's final smash was to breathe fire and spit fire everywhere. Kind of like the Yoshi from Super Mario World upon eating a red shell. But, yeah, more recently he just gets a Stampede move. Alright, so, as I hinted at before, it's now time for us to get a spirit off the bat for our Yoshi. Yarn Yoshi. Yarn Yoshi is a Yoshi game in which everything is made of yarn. Kind of like a spiritual successor to the game Kirby's Epic Yarn. And to represent Yarn Yoshi, we have a Yoshi who is made of felt. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the Yoshi made of felt looks absolutely fucking disgusting to me. I don't know why, it just upsets me to look at. And that's why I sent them all to their horrible deaths. Ugh. And even better, that's the Yoshi I'm going to be playing as. Fun times. I kind of glossed over how incredibly easy that last spirit battle was. Yoshi has, like, no recovery, and that stage has droppable platforms, so you can leave it to die by just baiting it out. Anyway, here is Flygon, a ground and dragon-type Pokemon introduced in Generation 3, the evolved form of both Trapinch and Vibrava. And it is being played here by a Ridley, who is green, kind of like Flygon is green. He is a dragon, most definitely, kind of like Flygon is a dragon. And to represent the ground typing, we have these semi-regular earthquakes, which are honestly the most annoying thing in the goddamn world. They just make me think of the worst elements of Super Smash Bros. Brawl. The fact that you could randomly trip in that game. I'm glad that feature never came back. Well, aside from these spirit battles. Because that shit was rough. It was like done in an attempt to stymie competitive players, to encourage more casual play, but all it did was serve to annoy everybody. Even casual players were annoyed by it, so I think after that, with the advent of Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U, they kind of rethought it a bit and decided to give a mode for both competitive and casual players, which I feel is the correct way to address things. I feel like you should be able to enjoy Smash Bros. However you want. Anyway, there goes Flygon. Relatively easy once it gets stampeded to death. And this might get outdated soon, but still no Mega Evolution. Why the hell doesn't Flygon have a Mega Evolution? That's still genuinely annoying that he doesn't have one, officially. Now I have to turn to Pokemon fan games in order to get that. Anyway, here is Fei Long. Fei Long is the Bruce Lee stand-in for the Street Fighter games. First appearing in Street Fighter 2, if I remember correctly. And, yeah, he is a martial arts expert. He loves flashy kung fu moves and loud kung fu screams, kind of like Bruce Lee. He's being played here by a Lucario because Lucario is arguably one of the few characters in Smash Bros.' roster who is actually martial arts trained, what with his Egyptian boxing and all. Anyway, this is a Street Fighter battle, so it is a stamina battle where it's really hard to jump, to better simulate a more conventional fighting game. Which would all be well and good, except I still have a bunch of crazy abilities, like turning myself into an egg, or doing a giant stomp on the ground, or eating my opponent. So yeah. Also Stampede. You don't get this in a normal fighting game, generally. You get ultimates, but not ones like that. Anyway, that is Fei Long. He boosts your fist attack, which, yeah, cool. Very nice. And, ugh, god, just caught another eyeful of that felt Yoshi. Gross. Here is Boom Boom. Boom Boom appeared in Super Mario Bros. 3 as a mini-boss who would appear in every single castle stage. And he would later gain more popularity as a counterpart to the character Pow Pow. So, a big angry turtle who stomps around and tries to ram into you, and a boomerang turtle. Anyway, on that note of being run over and run into, we have a big Squirtle here, playing Boom Boom, who has the Impact Run ability, which is quite a pain in the arse to deal with. His movement can hurt you. This is actually the closest Smash Bros. Has gotten to simulating the fact that in most Mario games, or most video game platformers, touching an enemy from the side does damage to you. You know, not directly hitting them on the head is an easy recipe for death, so yeah. Anyway, that is Boom Boom, who, after being promoted, ends up teaming up with Pow Pow. Wonderful. And, you know what? Let's see how we're doing on the skill tree. We have our double final smash there. We're nearly there. Very close to getting that. Instead, we're just gonna go level up a spirit or two. Maybe just one. I don't have that many snacks right now. I end up getting so many upgradable spirits that I have to spend all my snacks and then grind for them off screen. Anyway, as I said before, upgrading Nick gives us Captain Rainbow, who genuinely does look so much like Captain Falcon that previous spirit battle was kind of perfect. He gives you the first strike advantage. Awesome.